Oh, what's up?
Hey,
Hey, how you doing,
hello
Nicole?
everyone. How are you?
Hello, everyone. Nikki is the only
Yes,
person allowed to break my
I
every
know, I know.
rule.
And I
She's the
appreciate you
only
allowing
one.
me
I
to do
don't
that.
like anybody else. I'd be like, no, but
Right.
Nicole, nope. Nikki gets to say,
Thank
hello, everyone, because she got that. She has that purple hair. Don't care.
you. Yes, yes, yes.
What's up? What's up? So, first of all, I love you. Y'all have to know I have a very special relation. First of all, y'all should know that Nikki spoils the hell out of me. Like
Oh,
I'm spoiled on a level of spoiled y'all don't even know. She if y'all want to know, Nikki provides the bling. Like y'all, I don't have no style without Nikki. Needs like you need a sequin shirt that's expensive. You need
that's
blingy
right.
boots. You need a blingy thing planner for the year that has a D on the front. You need a blingy calculator.
Yeah.
You need earrings. You need this little Michael. Like she, like seriously, and I'm always like she's so good to me. And the boots. I gotta tell the boot story. So the boots. So
Yeah.
she was wearing these boss ass boots. Like
Yeah.
they were like a bling on top of bling extraordinaire boots. And you know what? If you want to see them, you got to come to a mastermind. I'm not even going to show them here. But I
Yeah.
would tell you, they are actually featured because I'm one of the models in Cultiview in Daytona. And
Yes.
featured is, wait, it's not these.
Not
It's
the slipper shoe.
not those. But what's featured is, what's in that picture is the boots. And
Oh,
she was
sweet.
walking around. She was walking around in the mansion wearing these boots, and I was like, she had taken them off. That was her first mistake. She took them off. I'm like,
Right.
girl, what size we wear?
The same size.
That was the first question. What size we wearing? We wearing the same size? It didn't even matter. You could have been like, I wear a size 6. I'm like, that's okay. These
No,
10s
you
gonna
wouldn't.
fit today. I was like, what size we wearing? And she actually let me wear them for a photo shoot, and not kidding you, I had spent the whole time like trying to bribe her out of those boots.
She
And then
did.
she literally said, "Here you go. You so spoiled." I was
Yeah.
like, "Yes, I
Yeah.
am."
But see, I had to go back online to make sure I could order me another pair because they've been sold out. So once I knew I could get one more pair, it was the last pair. I'm like, let me go ahead, release these to the Queen Donna herself, and I will be okay. So
I was
that's how it
so,
works.
y'all don't know. I wear them, and I wear them all the time. By the way, like, listen, I had to go hiking.
Oh, you wore those
I had to
hiking?
go I had to go hiking, and it was cold, right? And I didn't have any real like hiking boots, and you should never go hiking in Uggs. I'm just gonna say. So I was like,
Oh yeah.
I have hiking boots, right? And I literally showed up to the hike in these blingy boots, and people was like, I'm like, y'all can talk all the noise y'all want, but these got tread on them. And that's
Yeah,
what you need for
they
hiking.
do.
I mean, yeah. So yes. So if y'all see me blinged up, if y'all see me like wearing some new stuff, know that. And if y'all see my pictures and you're like, oh, I love that jacket, I love that is Nikki B. Jules. That is
Yes,
who that is.
yes, yes, yes. Nikki B.
Yes,
Jules.
Nikki B. Jules.
NikkiBJules.com if you want to know how to get some stuff. But what Donna has is only exclusively for Donna. That's how I do things. So you really don't see more than one of the same thing. So that makes our boutique very unique. We don't have a lot of the
Yes.
same.
No, seriously, like, and I do get people. Actually, there's this picture that I have. If y'all go and look on my feed, and I'm wearing this black dress, and don't get me wrong, the black dress is fire. However,
Yeah.
there's this necklace that Nikki was like, no, y'all think I can dress myself. I cannot. Nikki's like, no, you need to wear this necklace with it. And then you had Lisa,
Yeah.
who Lisa styled me though, because I had on a little dress and the dress come up here. Lisa was like, show your shoulders.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
tease this hair out.
Yes. She cut up many of shirts that day too.
Yeah,
Yes.
she did. You know what's so funny about Lisa though? Like Lisa is like that grandma from back in the day that used to do your hair, like like turn your head and you turn your head this way and then eventually go back this way and you get
Yeah,
that comb right there in the back of your head.
yes, that is her.
That is Lisa. Lisa was
Yes.
like, listen, I'm gonna do some things. And she just took these curls, she lifted them up. She's like, shoo, 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 shoo. She's like, we're gonna tease them all out. We're gonna do the whole thing. I was like, yeah, look, I was like, yes, ma'am, whatever you say.
Yes.
So she styled me for those pictures.
Yes.
And Nikki helped dress me and accessorize me so I look like a person. Because if it was me, y'all, I would literally be like, I have on the dress. That would be the whole thing. So they bring the rest of it. They put me all together. They're like, okay, you got on good underwear and a dress. We got the rest. So that's like the whole thing. I'm like, listen, I got the underwear and the dress. What y'all got? They're like, hair, styling, right? So yeah. And of course we have Kenneth Grant Inspirations, James Carey and his wife, who just the fire they bring in a picture.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And so we met officially like in person at Chanel
January
Evans.
last year.
Has it been a year?
Yes. Yes.
Oh my God, it has.
Yep. And
Yeah, we
Chanel's
met officially last year at Chanel Evans social media domination retreat. How do you do 6 months of social media domination in 6 days?
Yes.
And that's where we first met.
Yeah. And I was so proud of her because she went to your retreat October and then hosted her first retreat in January.
Yep.
That was fast.
Yeah,
but
she turned it right around.
Her because I remember as soon as she got back, she called me and I was like, oh my gosh, how did it go? And she said, Donna had us do this exercise. And in the exercise, we had to close our eyes. What smell do you smell? All that. And she said, who do you see walking in the retreat with you? And she said, Nicole, I see you right there with me. And we had a whole moment. I was like, Chanel, I'm so proud of you. You got this. And I appreciate the fact that when I first met you, you embraced me as family. You did not. It was a really good introduction of how we first met because you were Chanel's coach, but you really you took me in as being her friend, but I never forget that moment. So yeah.
Yeah. It's so funny that you say that. I can't wait. You're gonna make me tear up. Okay.
I'm sorry.
So it's so funny because sometimes for me especially is that people kind of see something on the outside, right? And there's almost like, not that you had this, but there's almost like this preconceived notion that I'm going to be some kind of way, right? And what people really don't realize is that I love you are family the moment you are in my sphere, and so yeah, no, I met Nikki, purple hair, don't care. And I was like, and then the nails, please show the nails.
Oh yeah,
Right. She got like all the blings on her nails. And I love her nails. And I'm like, if I put that bling on my nails, these curls will be completely pulled out. Like I cannot do it, right? And so no, and that's the thing. Not only did it's not just that I embraced you, you gave me the opportunity. Like so many people kind of like, because they're expecting me to be something else. And the one thing that I have said to Chanel, as we have our little momentary love fest, is I told her, I said, what I love about you, and I do mean this, is I said, Nikki comes 100% as she is, and she allows you to come 100% as you are, and does not judge that.
Yeah.
And that means so much. And so kind of the joke is, so at our last mastermind, right? I quoted a whole Bible verse.
Yes, right? She did. Yes, she did. I was like, let me find out some scripture.
Right. Nikki, you're a minister, pastor, right?
Yes. My husband and I pastor church. Yes.
Right. Right. So let's just put this together. We got somebody who know the whole Bible. And we found somebody who found a scripture that she could use, right?
But
For
you know
one
what,
particular
though?
moment.
Like you said, though, that was the one thing that one thing I've learned about Donna. Donna wants you to be you, and if you just let Donna be Donna, and you love Donna where Donna is, that's a part of the process. And I think it was that part that
Right.
Donna will fire it off in a minute, but at the same time, that's honestly, I know we're ahead of what we're going to talk about,
No, you're
but
good.
that was one of the reasons of when I talked to Chanel, I was like, okay, everybody says every business coach needs a coach, but you still got to have the right one. I like the people that are authentic, people who know how to crush, who not ashamed. And that was the one thing that attracted me to you as a coach. I watch you push Chanel like no other. And out of
Right.
respect for my friend, because to me, Chanel was my coach because I never know that there was such a thing forever, right?
Right.
But when her and I talked about it, I was like, okay, what do you think? You're my friend. I want to be respectful. She said, no, I think it'll be great for you, where you're going, what you're doing with your coaching program. Donna would be a great fit for you. And then when Donna and I talked, and she was like, you want me? I'm like, of course. You know
I
what
was
I
like,
mean?
oh
But it took us spending time together
my God.
outside of just I got to watch you be.
Right.
No one can take away the great things that you do and the knowledge that you have.
Right. And I was
So
like, you do not get to waterboard me with holy water. But and the thing is, it's so funny because, people they almost, I think, expect me to, not you, but in general, like people
mhm.
expect that if you're a business coach and I'm a business coach, and even if we're doing a duplication model, that we're competitors, and it was actually at the last mastermind that I said, yeah, I 100% know who your ideal client is. Your ideal client is not my ideal client. My ideal client is not your ideal client. I know who your ideal client is. And then I said, it's this person. And I'm
Yes.
like, you can actually use my methodology to coach those people.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of funny because I think that was like a moment where I'm like, no, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, right. And
And it
so
was
many,
that moment that you helped me. I knew it in my head, but the
Mhm.
exercises that these women are about and men were about to encounter, the ones that are coming at the end of the month, you're going to use that. But I appreciate that Donna understood my ideal client, that I work with the underdogs, that I work the first entrepreneurs of the family who have never, done anything great. She helped me say it in such a way that it's like, yeah, that is who I work with.
that's
I
it,
work
right.
with the ones, and I don't want to
This
say
is
that
the
nobody else
unlikely
works.
entrepreneur. The best
Yes,
way to say it, it's the unlikely entrepreneur. It's the person that you'd be like, entrepreneur, like,
right,
what you sell? You got an Amazon shop or some little, like,
right,
these are the person that people would go, oh, how's your little business doing? Well, my little business got 2 commas. How yours doing?
there
Right?
you go. Yes,
It's those people. It's really I call them, like, it's the underdog entrepreneur. And I don't mean
yes,
that in a disrespectful way at all. I really mean it's the people who people have said, there is no way in hell that person is ever going to be anything other than
yes,
this. And so you don't know the story. I'm gonna share a story with you why I understand that entrepreneur so much. And I don't think you know the story at all. So when I was in high school, although I had done really, really, really well in high school, I was pregnant my last year of high school. And my guidance counselor made it absolutely clear that I was going to either end up on drugs. Now
oh
you got to
my,
know how funny that is for me, of all
right,
people, right? I don't even drink. Like, I think an adult beverage is a ginger ale with some cherries in it
mm-hmm.
in a
And
wine glass.
yeah,
like, I'm like, y'all don't know the sugar I got it here today, boy. Right? So that I was gonna end up on drugs. I was gonna end up in jail. and I was going to have 5 baby daddies. I was
Oh,
going to be I was going to, and my kids, and 3 of my kids will follow my footsteps. One of them would die. One of them would be in jail. One of them would die, and only one would be anything decent, but likely not much. Um, and I mean, this was like, and he was like, and this is based on government statistics. This is who you are going to be.
wow.
Just 100%. This is who you're going to be. So I'm like, not 18 years old yet. And it was because I was pregnant. Even though I had been an A student, crushed it, had great GPA. You're pregnant, you ain't gonna be shit. You've ruined your life. I don't even know why you're here. Kick rocks. And so it was really one of those things that was like, wow, I'm gonna be nothing. Like he was like, you will be nothing. And so I understand what it means for people to look at you
Mm-hmm.
because of your situation or circumstance and discount you and say you're going to be nothing, and I expect nothing from you. And um and then even I became homeless not long after that. But here's the other part of that, is that I believed that. For like, I was like, well, maybe y'all don't know this, I was going to get a job as a corrections officer.
Mm.
I had passed the test. The problem was, I was when they had gotten to the point of interviews and they were about to hire me, they realized that I had taken the test when I was 18 and I needed to be 19. I
Oh,
wasn't going to
wow.
be 19. I wasn't going to be old enough. And so it's really one of those things when people make a decision about you and they look at you, they see purple hair and blingy fingernails and don't realize it's 2 commas over in that account and another one's over that one, and coaching over this one. Or they see that you have more children than quote you should, or that you look too young for the children that you have, or whatever it is they've made it, or you're not walking around with a Bible all the time, or
Mhm.
that you're wearing a shirt that has your name on it, or whatever it is. But they've made a judgment about you and made the decision that you, of all people, will never amount to anything.
Wow.
And so I 100% understand who that entrepreneur is, because I was
Yeah.
her, right?
Yeah.
I was supposed to have me a good old government job. That's what I was supposed to do. So
Yeah.
I absolutely love that your ideal client is the unlikely entrepreneur. That person who's probably going to be the first person that cracks 6 figures and then hit mid 6 figures, and all the other things. And then to have something in place for them, I think is so amazing.
Yes. That was me when I started my first daycare in 93. I did in home, and then 2006 I opened up a school, and I had no idea what I was doing. And my coach friend Chanel, before I even knew they were coaches, was like, "Go to the women's business center. You could do it," and blah blah blah. And I did it. And then I was the top of that class, so they gave me a grant for my first school I opened. But I reached out to people who said they would help me, and they did not. And I missed out. I made so many business mistakes by not having the right people help me, or I felt I couldn't afford it, or whatever the case is. But I made a lot of mistakes in business. But to make it 30 years this year as an entrepreneur is like, I got it. I can help those so you don't have to go through what we went through,
Right.
So
And
the
make
same
so
thing.
many mistakes. Yeah. And
Yes.
I think that's the big part. Like, the whole thing about coaching is to help you not make
Yes.
so many mistakes, because and I want to make sure I'm really clear about that. Not to make so many mistakes. It doesn't mean you're not gonna make any mistakes.
Yeah.
Like, our
Yeah.
goal is to reduce those significantly.
Exactly.
You're not gonna make all 10, but you're gonna make these 1 or 2 right here just because life,
Exactly.
right? But yeah, I think it's so important that the because think about this. Here it is. You're already a very successful entrepreneur, in your own right, and then you're like, you know what? I'm gonna go in this coaching realm,
Hmm.
right? And I'm gonna help people duplicate what I'm doing, and I want to really make sure that as I'm teaching them to duplicate what I'm doing, that I kind of have a coach to help me do it right. Now, you've already made a lot of money. So a lot of people are like, well, she already made the money. Why doesn't she just do it? Right. So why do you think for you it's kind of important to have a coach as you have now stepped into the coaching realm?
I think there are different levels to coaching as well. You know what I mean? So if I'm coaching the new entrepreneur and you're coaching the one that has done it for a long time, um, we're dealing with two different groups of people. So eventually mine are going to outgrow what I do, but I need to be able to grow with them. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Right.
So, and bring them and allow them to be in spaces that I go into at the same time. So, like Nikema Davis was invited to the mansion because she was ready for the next level.
Mm-hmm.
So, I needed to be under a coach that was already doing things at a higher level. I mean, you dealing with corporate clients at 20 grand. Let me get a
Mm-hmm.
corporate client that I can do a daycare center in. I'm learning and watching, even though it has nothing to do with coaching, but there are tips and things that you share and help others that, hey, if I see one of mine and say, hey girl, come on, you deserve to be in this room, you're ready. So
Right.
that's why I needed a coach who was doing the next level stuff. So therefore, my client can see there's a next level to even to what I'm showing you and introducing them to the room that you're in. And then
Mm-hmm.
allowing it's the same thing Chanel did for me, really, not even knowing I needed a coach back then.
Right.
She
True.
allowed
Yeah.
me to be in the room and learn, but then you were the one that also made the draw because you also, even in September, when I was hosting my first retreat in October, you were like, all right, Nikki, what we gonna talk about? I'm like, you care enough to ask me what we gonna talk about?
I know you were like so
Okay,
surprised. I'm like, girl, what
yeah.
our agenda
But,
look like? What
but
we
you
doing?
like,
What
I
we
think
what
you
we
should
doing?
do this. I think you should do that. You need to ask him this. That was so that was powerful for me. That you even took a moment that you wanted to know what it is I'm going to be doing. Nobody ever asked me that. So
Oh,
for me, that one drop of nugget stayed with me at that moment
right.
to get me for the whole buy-in for this moment. You know what I mean? So we were building something there, and just the mere fact that you let me know, no, I want to know what is this your first mantra retreat? What are you doing? Let me
What
hear
is
about it. Yeah.
like
So
y'all think she playing, but I was literally like, no, no, like for real. Like they come in, right? And then like
yeah,
the first day, what they gonna do?
exactly. Right. And I was like, okay, but I felt like a kid that was at a test because then inside I was like, okay, I don't do it at the level of Donna, but that was okay because Donna let me do it at the level of Nikki. And
Right,
that
yeah. And oh
and
my
that was
God.
okay.
Yes, let's talk about that for 1 second.
Yes.
So I have a framework, a methodology, but then you take that methodology and you apply it your way that you need it to your clients. The
Yes.
framework is the strategy. The tactics is how we take your expertise and your clients and apply that strategy to it. So, like,
Correct.
whereas my clients, I'm like, well, they're gonna come in day one and they're gonna have to do a FYRE pitch. And Nikki's like, yeah, we're gonna have to figure out something. I'm like, well, let's talk about what they're gonna do. And then it was more the strategy is why do we want to do something in the first day that's going to be impactful? Because we need them to get a breakthrough early. So
Yeah.
we know that's the goal. We know
Mhm.
what the strategy is. Now let's sit down and talk about what's a tactic that you can use to help
Yeah.
your clients get that breakthrough early.
Yep. And
Let's
they
talk
did.
about that. Right.
And they did. They learned how to, not at the level of which we're doing now, but that's
Right.
why I knew Nikema was ready for the next level. And
Right.
she crushed it at your event.
Yes, she
You
did.
know what I mean? And so now some of them are like, but also too, my from that retreat, my clients are not at the same level.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They've now
And
moved
that's
up.
fine, right?
They're
Like
not
you
babies no
don't
more.
yeah, you don't take someone who's first year medical student and talk
Yeah.
about, so what we gonna do is take out this heart real quick. You like,
Right.
no, bro, we gonna teach you what a needle is. Like, let's
Yeah.
start there. Right.
Yeah.
And so I think that's so important because I get a lot of people who go, well, I have to do what you're doing. I'm like, no, 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 no.
Mhm.
I need you to have a framework and methodology so you can move your client from where they are to the level that they're ready to get to with you until
Yes.
they're ready to go to another level. Like, I'm so clear about that. And I think sometimes people come to me and I'm very clear, like, who's my client versus who's not. In fact, there is a couple of people that I want to introduce you to, because I'm like, I think you more need Nikki's coaching than my coaching right now. And I don't say that in a bad way. I'm more like, no, because you're going to come in my room and your spirit is going to be crushed, because that's not where it is yet.
Yes.
You're not ready for that. You need to go where you can get started before you
Yep.
come over here. And it's not a bad thing. I'm in rooms that some of my clients are ready for, but other clients, they're like, girl, I don't even know what he's saying. You
Right.
got to be in the room that's going to benefit you.
Yeah.
Like, you really do. Right. Where
Yeah.
my coach is like, let me tell you how to get a Range Rover for free. I'm like, for free, right? There's just different levels and different conversations, because if the conversation with my coach is, let me tell you how to get a Range Rover for free, if you're running a $3.5 million business, if you're not running a $3.5 million business and you're sitting there getting information like, this isn't applicable to me, I'm just trying to figure out how to get 3 clients. So now you wasted your time, and so I think there's 2 things. You want to be in the room over your head.
Yes.
But you don't want to be in the room that's going to drown you.
There you go. That's it.
Right. And that's what people really need to understand. You want to be in the room. Yes, it could be over your head. Like, you should listen. I'm in the room with literally billionaires and perennial billionaires. Like I'm literally sitting in those rooms, right? I ain't a billionaire. There's no B. There's no B in my comments. It's M. Right? There's no B's. And so I'm in the room with these people who are up here, and I'm listening and learning and coming up with ideas and coming back and going, ooh, let me tell you how we can morph this for our people.
Yes.
Right?
That's it.
But if I bring somebody up into that room, they're probably going to be a little more starstruck than knowing to gather the information.
Absolutely.
Right? So you want to be in the room that's right for you. My people are in rooms that they're like, I think you're over my head. I'm like, good. I want to be a little over your head. I don't want to be a lot over your head.
Yes.
I don't want you to drown. And I think that is so important for people to know. So let's talk about you.
Okay.
I want to talk about your coaching program. I want to talk about what you're doing and the things that you're going, that, like, you made this decision. Listen, I love you. You became a coach because you're like, I'm already crushing it. I don't have to do this. I'm gonna say that one more time.
Yeah. Yeah.
She did not become a coach because she had to do it. She became a coach because she wanted to do it.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about that a little bit. So you became a coach because this is something you want to do. So tell me a little bit about your coaching program, and who you work with, and what do they get out of it?
Well, as you help me put together, I do work with the underdogs, or the ones in their family who are the first entrepreneurs of their family. And a lot of them, they've had these business ideas that just have sat there. They're afraid. Most family are not so supportive. And I just felt, you know what? I got certified as a business coach. I went and sat under Steve Harvey. So many other things I've learned from different rooms. And I put together my own coaching program. And when I started coaching, there was about 12 of them. They were my first coaching group. And we did it for 3 months. And after 3 months, I made an offer for them to stay with me. They've been with me for 2 years. And then this October was the first mansion retreat after I went to Chanel's 2 retreats. Okay, I can do it. Long as you with me, Chanel, I got it. And we did it. They showed up. They learned so much. And from October to now, those in my coaching program have been on fire. But what I also introduced to them was my new rates for 2023, which was maybe 4 times more than what they were paying me initially. I was fearful to increase. People like you and Chanel was like, Nicole, you deserve more. You bring in a lot. You bring in 30 years of experience to these men and women. And I presented my new rates and said, effective January, these are my new rates. I crossed all fingers. I'm like, I don't know who's coming with me, but I can tell you this. They all came. They all paid the new rates. My highest level is platinum. I have one in platinum. And my next level is diamond. And I have one in diamond. And the rest of them are in my bling level. And then I have a pearl level for those entry. I only have two
Right.
in that. But it's
Right.
just, and honestly, my deposit hit. I must be very transparent. And I screenshotted it to Chanel and was like, oh my God, you were right. But I invested a lot of my time and I still gave them my best for those 2 years.
Right.
But now I'm investing in myself. So as I invest in me by getting a business coach, I let them know where I am going. If you want to come, this is what it's going to cost you to get there.
Please, oh my God. Let me tell you, I love that you said that. And I think that statement and so here's a coaching moment. So just a
Mm-hmm.
coaching moment. I want you to write that down and hold that somewhere because of all the lessons that you teach from a mindset perspective as well as an action perspective that is powerful is that I just said this the other day. The one thing that I ran into in my community, as an entrepreneur, as somebody who was quickly moving up the ladder, was okay, you're gonna go, you're leaving us behind, right?
Yeah.
And so you have this thing, it's kind of like a survivor's guilt. I'm going to go and be successful and I'm leaving people behind. And then I feel like I have to reach back. And now, if I'm driving a BMW, I got to make sure my cousin, my neighbor, my mama, my daddy, my uncle, like the baby got to all drive a BMW. Now they didn't work for it. They
Right.
didn't put in a single hour. But because I have it now, I got to reach back and make sure everybody else has. And what I had to learn was I'm not leaving you behind. What's
Yeah.
actually happening is I made the decision I'm going to go that way.
Yeah.
You can either walk with me and go that way, or you can stand there. I'm not leaving you. I'm making a choice to walk. You're making a choice not to walk.
Yeah.
That's not leaving you behind. That is you making a choice not to move.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to, when you really want to move, when you want to get to that next level, you have to shed some of who you are today to be who you want to be
That's
tomorrow.
right. Yeah.
And sometimes that means changing your playgrounds, playthings, playmates, and the way you play.
Yeah.
Right? And your playmates who want to play in Pee Wee League can't be with you in the NFL. They
No,
like,
not at
bro,
all.
you still snatching flags. These people coming at you and knocking your block off. You're gonna get hurt on this
Exactly.
field. So
Exactly.
that I think of like all the mindset lessons you teach, please don't leave that lesson behind
Yeah.
because as that first generation entrepreneur who went through that for real, there was a lot of survivor's guilt. And it held me from doing better than I could have done in business several times. Like the reason I did so well in my tech consultancy, quite honestly, was
Mhm.
because of because I had a business partner. Without that business partner, I wouldn't have done as well because I would have been so worried about bringing everybody behind with me. I would have been carrying the weight of all these people while
Mhm.
trying to build a business. But because I was working with my partner, I was like, well, we kind of got to do this thing and I can't bring all y'all to this thing right now.
Right,
That's the
right.
thing that helped me,
That's
you
true.
know?
But I appreciate about the people that are in the coaching program. I put it out there. I gave them, from October to January, and some of them did say, "So that are you leaving us?" Never that. You can come, but this is the cost it is to come. And in
Right.
that, it really for them accepting it and joining in and not
Right.
asking no question.
Right.
That for me was like it can happen, it can work. And I want to make sure I'm giving them my next level self too. By what
Right.
I learned from you, being in those rooms with all these wonderful entrepreneurs and things like that. But it's like you gotta let people know you're growing. And like you said, you can feel guilty for for doing good in life. COVID for
Mhm.
me, for my childcare, was the best year ever. We got PPP loans, we got free money, we got grants. I was going to close my business in 2019 and I didn't understand. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to keep walking until an answer comes. COVID hit, my whole business shifted. So in that, it was just, I'm grateful I didn't close it, but at the same time, I worked harder in my business. I worked harder to let people know where I'm going, and I had a stronger foundation to help people make it through COVID, even in business.
Right.
But
Yeah.
people who stuck with me from October and crossed over into the new rates, they're also working harder. They're making more money. So it's like if they make more money, they can pay me more money. You know what I mean? So it has been, it's just been good. That's all I could say. But I'm grateful to you and Chanel, who were like, girl, you got this. And you can't focus. And maybe you've outgrown your own clients at this point. But all of them are like, oh no, you ain't leaving us behind. Come on. I might be at the lowest level, but I ain't
But
getting
I'm
left
walking.
So
Look, I
until
might be at the lowest level, but I'm at a level. How about that?
there you go. And not one of them were left behind. They all signed up for a program.
Right.
So,
And that's really big. And they weren't going to be left behind. They were going to make a choice not to move. That's completely
exactly.
different. So I love
That,
this. And I want you to know that as I look at this comment, I know what it means. So don't be trying me with this. Preaching the lot message, looking back at Vegas. I
looking
know what that
back,
means.
yes,
I know what that means.
yes, yes. Oh my
Listen,
goodness.
listen, people don't know. I did a lot of time. Okay. I was at church Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday all day, lots
Yeah,
of weeks, one
yeah.
after the other. I actually know the Bible better than I put
Yeah,
on.
you were
Listen,
ready.
but I tell you one thing, when I threw out that scripture during somebody talk, I thought everybody was like, what happened? Is she okay? Is she having a seizure right now?
Yes, yes,
Hey, Chanel, don't be telling.
exactly. If she came up to the room, gave us a whole Bible lesson, I'm like, okay, I hear you. Okay. Yeah.
I'm like, it's not just this one, it's all the ones that I've read. It's just not this one. So yes, no, I really love specifically how, number one, I think why one of the things you do that you do so well with your clients is there is this pure lack of judgment in your heart that is so strong that I'm like, y'all don't know, it is so strong. And it's beautiful because people can come in and they're like, hey, Miss Nikki, this is where I am. I
Yeah.
have to go and pull teeth. And I'm like, y'all, I was homeless, not in the street where I could go to the McDonald's bathroom, in the woods where I had to dig the hole, right? So I ain't got no judgment, right?
Yeah.
I've been, so I understand. I have no judgment. I'm more concerned how we gonna get out of that than stay in it, you know? So why Deanna talking about she almost fell out? I know you're not talking about when I said the scripture. Ain't that bad. I think it just freaked everybody out that I said it and then it was like thundering. But so when someone wants to get into your program, Nikki,
Yes.
what do they have to do to get there? Like, what does it take to say I'm going to be in Nikki? She said, by the way, she said, I am talking about when you say a scripture. Um, what what does it take for somebody to say, I want to be in her program? I don't know if I'm ready. How do I know if I'm ready? And what does that program look like for me? So if you had to say, Donna, my ideal client is this person, and this is how they know they're ready, what does that look like?
Most of them know they're ready when they're just sick and tired of trying and nothing's happening. And they realize I've tried all these different ideas, but most of the time they really haven't been in a good networking community. They've tried a lot of things on their own. So they reach out and say, I think I'm ready. First, they'll schedule a call with me. They go to my website, NicoleLBrown.com. They schedule a consultation call, but it is you do pay. to even have a session with me and see what it is that you're trying to do and how I can help you. But I
Mhm.
really like to work with people who are ready to move.
Right,
If you're
activators,
telling
yeah.
me you're not ready over and over again, I will tell you when you're ready, then let's start. Um,
Mhm.
I'm one. I'm going to stay on you. One of the things, I do have a Nikki B strategy. I discover first of all, are you your authentic self? First of all, are you true to who you show up to be? Do you really love the product or service that you do or product that you sell? Because most times, if you come, well, I have this lotion and I want people to try. If you're not bringing the energy and you sad about what you're presenting, you can't even be in my program,
Right.
because I need people that you got to believe what you have before I can even believe it. You know what
Right.
I mean? So it starts with that, being their authentic self. Then I help them discover who they are, what's holding them back. Then from the discovery part, I expose them to networks like your network and people like Chanel. I invite them to mansion retreats so they can learn more about the real world. 90% of the world that we work with, or the people we work with, don't know about mansion retreats. They don't know about networks. They don't even know what a mastermind is,
Right.
right? So they've heard of it, but out of fear, they don't try it.
Because I'm coming to one of yours in the middle of
You
April.
are in April, yes. So I've
Yeah.
already shared it with some of my clients, and they are like geeked. Okay, so yes, Donna is coming in April to help snatch the edges of my own clients, but they're ready to be snatched. So if they're like, "Oh, we
We're
ready,"
gonna,
we
and it's gonna be a few days. It's like it's the four. In fact, I know when it is. It's the 14th and 15th because it's
yeah,
tax season. So it's the
yeah,
14th and
it is.
15th in April, right?
Yes,
In Virginia.
in Virginia, in
Yep.
Williamsburg, Virginia. And
Yep.
so those are the things. So because they really want to be better speakers. So I really
Hmm.
think that would be a really good thing to have you do and come and talk to them about how to speak.
Right.
John did a great job with helping them share their story. They loved him. But now they're like, okay, we got that part. Now once I have my story, I want to be a better speaker.
Right. And what do I do
So
with it?
yeah. So,
And I
so
think
that is how I challenge them, and then I check up on them every 2 weeks. So it's not like I give them a long time. And that was one of the things when you said to them, you said, Nikki, when you give them a challenge, give them 2 weeks and nothing longer than that.
right. Yeah, for sure.
If
And one of
that.
the things that I like is you take people from going, I don't even know how to get started. Like I don't even know where to go
Hmm.
to I'm moving full steam ahead. Oh my God. Right.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even know I could do this. Now I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And that you consistently do that, which I think is a big part of your methodology and my methodology, which is I didn't think I could do that. I'm doing it. Okay, what's the next thing I didn't think I could do? And now I'm doing that. And it's just that constant push. And it's done in these very small increments, right? It's
Yeah.
done in these 2 week increments, which
Hmm.
is great because it doesn't, I always say don't waterboard your client with too much content, too many tasks, too much stuff, make it overwhelming. Like literally break it down to these tiny doable pieces. And so when they look back on it and they're like, oh, dang, look at what I did in such a short amount of time. And what I love is that you do that for your clients who are
Hmm.
trying to get to some of them 6-figure years,
Yes.
right? They're trying to hit their first 6 figures ever. But the same strategy they're using to try to hit their first 6 figure ever is the same ones that I use to go, let's do your 6 figure launch. Let's
Yep.
do your 6 figure stream of income. Let's do your 6 figure month.
Yep.
But these little things that we consistently check on. And that's what I love, the power of being able to meet people at their level and then
Yep.
be able to say, for me, when people come to me, go, I think you'd be more suited because you're starting for Nikki. And then Nikki get into a certain level. I'm like, I think you're ready for Donna. And then
Yep.
I get into a certain level. I'm like, I think you're ready to be with Rudy and Nick Grant.
Mhm.
Right. And so it literally is, how do we help people level up?
Yep. And I think
Right.
that is the key. And one thing, Nakima, in my coaching program, she reached her 6 figures in 1 year. You
There you
know what I
go.
mean? And so she has staff. She just hosted her first master class. So like
Oh,
she is everything that she's getting. I love her. She is definitely the ideal client. Like she's the dream and the ideal, even though they're two. But she is crushing it because she's not afraid to take the leap. Even though she like, okay, I'm gonna do it, but she gets it done. And those are the
right.
ones that sometimes the other people in our circles, they're like, well, that's not fair. Well, come on.
Right.
She's
It's not, it has nothing to do with fair. It has to do with taking action. So
yeah.
if you had, like, for your ideal client,
Mm-hmm.
let's give them 3 tips and we'll talk about them. 3 tips that you're like, this is what I would want them to do. What would be that first tip? Like, they come in your program and they're like, do this.
Well, see, the first thing, as I stated earlier, I need to make sure they're confident in themselves. So it's dealing with them being authentic first. You got
Right.
to be. That's number one for me. Um, the second tip, I would really ask them to figure out why is it. Why is it that you really want to do this thing?
Because if they're
What
just
problem
chasing
are you
after money,
solving?
right.
Yeah. What problem are you solving? And is there really a need for what it is? Or you already know that. And then the third thing, are you afraid? If you're afraid, you can do it. But if you're willing to do it afraid, then we're good. So
Yeah.
really, it's just being their authentic self, taking understanding what it is they're doing, and if you're afraid, we got it. You're gonna be successful.
Yeah, I'm really big on the, if you're afraid, if you're scared, do it anyway.
Yeah,
I hear people all the time like, "Oh, but what if?" And I'm like, if you sit there and talk about all the but what ifs, quite honestly, what I tell people is this: you are creating a physical barrier to your forward movement
hmm,
because while you should be focusing on the goal, you're focusing on what if this bad thing happens. And as somebody who, so people don't know this about me, I like to drive really, really, really fast, like really fast.
oh, I'm
And,
aware.
and so,
I'm aware.
yes, you are. Okay, so I like to drive really, really, really fast. But in order to be able to do that, I've taken like some BMW driving classes. And this guy who was a race car driver, he goes, "Your car is going to go where you're looking."
Mm,
Period. The end. He goes, "So if you're driving and you start looking at that car over there," he goes, "even though you don't feel it, your body naturally starts leaning that direction." And he goes, "And it's literally like this much." And he goes, "But that little lean when you're going 90 miles an hour is going to make a huge impact on where you're going. And not all the way, not always a positive impact." And so when you start creating barriers, and when you say, "Well, what if this fails, and what if that fails, and what if this bad thing happens, and what if that bad thing happens?" You literally focus at those bad things when you're supposed to be going this way. So what happens is you start running into them, and then my favorite part is they come back and go, "See, I told you."
yeah,
Of course it was going to happen, baby. You've been manifesting it the whole damn time.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what if it fails? And I tell people all the time when they hit me, what if it fails? It's going to fail
Fail, yeah.
because that's what you're looking for. That's
Hmm.
what you're looking at. You're chasing that failure. I do
Yes.
the opposite. And this is the one thing that I love to teach people. I'm like, what's the goal? And
Yeah.
we talk about the goal. And I'm like, what are the 800 ways? Oh, look at this. Cynthia said that's the same thing that happens with horses. That is the same thing that happens with horses. If you're sitting on a horse and you look that way, that horse is going to go that way because what we
So
don't realize is our body actually takes this movement and we move a little bit. And the whole universe can feel us moving that way. And
yeah.
so, yeah, it's absolutely true. And so when I'm working with people, like I'll use Deanna. Deanna wanted to make this her 6-figure cash month, right? When we sat down and talked about that, we said, well, what is it going to take to get that 6-figure cash month? Not one time did we go, well, just in case this doesn't work, we
Yeah.
have to do this. We never said that. What we said was, how do we get 6 figures in that one? How do we get 6 figures in that one? How do we get 6 figures in that one? And how do we get 6 figures in that one? We look at 4 ways to get 6 figures. And then I said, chase all 4.
Yeah. There's one of them
Right?
got to.
Or you're gonna get 50 in this one, 25 in that one, 10 over here, and 15
Yep.
over here. But you know what you got? You got 6, regardless,
Right.
right?
Yep.
And that was the whole thing. I watch people quite a bit of times that they say they want to go a certain direction, but they're so focused on
Mhm.
going on the negative thing that's going to happen that they chase that negative thing. And what they do is they live it. They live in this what if world, and it's
Yeah.
never a what if possible world,
Yep. You're
right?
right.
They don't live what if it's possible. They live in what if this bad thing happens.
Yep.
And then they're upset that the bad thing happened. I'm like, well, baby, you've been calling it forth.
Yep.
Like, I'm gonna go ahead and surprise Nikki, but there is a Bible verse that says, "Ask and ye shall receive." I mean, if you
Come
keep
on, you
asking
better
for it,
preach. I
look,
might
nigga,
need to. I might
you
need
didn't
to.
even know I had that third one, did you? You ain't know I had that third one in my pocket.
Okay. Let me
Now I
find
have
out.
extended. Look, I have extended my knowledge. Y'all stop. Okay, anyway.
Yeah.
But I tell
Let
people
me.
all the time, like it's literally in
Yeah.
there. You keep calling it forth, and then you're surprised when you call it forth. That I'm like, why are you surprised? You've
Yeah.
been asking for it the whole time. You've been
Yeah.
saying. I tell people, I'm like when we're having the mastermind at the end of the month, and I hear people say, "Well, I can't make it because," and they've already created their list, and I'm like, then you ain't gonna make it.
Hmm.
And they don't understand that at that point, I'm done. There's nothing for me to talk to them about because
Yeah.
they've already made it clear that they can't done. They've put all the things in place. As compared to when I talk to somebody who says, all right, I'm gonna need to get a babysitter. Right? Like they literally start like, I'm gonna need to
Hmm.
get a babysitter. I'm gonna need to get an airline. I'm gonna need to get a ticket. Can I stay with y'all? Okay, I'm gonna stay with y'all. Y'all feed me too? Okay, I'm gonna be able to eat. All right, and I just gotta get back to the airport. Yeah, let me go do that. Completely different behavior as
Yeah.
compared to, well, I can't come because I got to
Hmm.
get daycare and my husband going to say no and there's no money on my credit card and I'm like, boy, when y'all have it,
Yeah.
when y'all have all those things,
Hmm.
you know, I love this. Ilika said her only question was, well, wait, when is it? Just when is
Yeah.
it? When is
Yeah.
it?
And
I
that's
got
how
one.
we gotta move though, like that. Like, okay, when is it? When I told Nikema, I said, okay, brace yourself. It's an investment. If you can do it, you need to be in the room.
Right.
And she says, okay, if you're calling and telling me I need to be in the room, I need to consider being in the room.
Right.
And she made it happen. You know what I mean? And so and we have what we say, and so I remember when I did Steve Harvey's little program in 2017, my goal was 2018, my business is going to make over $1 million. What happened by the time I completed? And I was asked to speak on the panel at the end, right? And
Mm-hmm.
sure enough, my goal happened. We made $1 million the first time ever. But from 2017 to now, that's how my business has been moving. Now, next year, I'm going for 2 million. So I've been on my directors. Come on, y'all, we got to work. We got to do this. We got to, you know what I mean? But yes, the 10 million. Yes, we're getting there. But right now, I got my people going to pass out just at the 2. But nevertheless, but it can happen.
Right.
And I realized that
Well,
because
what I
I
like about
have
that is we
it,
put right, but we put a bigger goal than. So I just want everybody to know this. We put a bigger goal than 2, so
yeah,
that
yeah,
2
yeah.
is going to be hit.
Oh,
Right.
for
So
sure.
that is yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Come on,
And
Nikki. My daughter pushing yourself to go into the room or open the door for other rooms. Come on, Nick.
what's
Look,
up, Nikki? How you doing? That's my girl right there.
yes, Nikki
Um,
Styles. But yeah,
yes, that's Nikki Styles, y'all. That's Nikki Styles. Don't play.
yeah,
Like seriously. And
yeah.
what I love, what I love is this. And here's the thing. You got to be so careful to me and
Mhm.
I get people who go, I'm a mindset coach, and I'm like, baby, mindset is a part of the job.
Yeah.
So you switching a mindset to do what? Right?
Mhm.
Just telling me you're a mindset coach is not enough. right?
Yeah.
That's a part of your job as a coach. Like that's like saying I went to work today. That's your job. That's what you're
Yeah.
supposed to do. So when people tell me I'm a mindset coach, that's equal to saying my job is to show up to work on time. I'm like, to do what, boo? Like to do what?
Right.
That's just the starting point. What's the rest of it?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so yeah, I really think about what is some of the self-talk we have, right?
Yeah.
If you go in saying, I can't do this, rather than saying, this is what I'm going to be, this is
Mm-hmm.
where I'm going to be, this is what's going to happen. Absolutely. And like, Teresa said, everything starts with mindset. Exactly. Just like
Mm-hmm.
everything at work starts with showing up to work. But then what are you going to
Yeah.
do with that? Mindset is just the start of your job. What is the rest?
Yeah.
Right.
No, you're
And so
right.
the rest for your people is I'm going to become my family's first
Yeah.
successful six-figure millionaire. And I want people to be clear that when I said six figure, y'all know six figure is more than $100,000, right? So,
Yes. Sure.
so
For sure.
it could be $500,000,
Yeah.
$800,000. Her Nikki's goal is to help people become their companies, their families' first
Yes.
successful entrepreneur, six-figure entrepreneur to start. Right, that is the goal. The people that are the underdogs that nobody believes is possible, the people that they have a dream, they don't know where to get the answers.
And
Like
they
they
don't,
just
people don't even know how to dream. I remember a
right,
few months ago, my husband and I at a marriage seminar, we asked the couples, what do you dream about? Most of them never took time to dream. They just
right.
think whatever life is, it is what it is. But the dreams can become realities. You know what I mean? If
Mm-hmm.
you really want them, your dream can become realities, but it's the room, it's the company you keep. So if Donna is spending money for a coach, and her and I talked about you and I talked about it, it's like the coaching trickles down. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I get from what you give me, I give it to my clients. But what you're getting, it all comes down. It's one
mm-hmm.
big flow. So
Yep,
don't feel as though, well, I can't do this, but you still have access though. If
yep.
you take advantage of it.
Yeah. Well, and what people have to realize is that my coach did an exercise when he was in the room with Grant Cardone.
Mm-hmm.
So then he came back and he goes, I got to show you this exercise. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's pretty smooth. And then I'm like, y'all boys, y'all real cute. Let me go ahead and put some steroids on this and make it right.
Right.
Right. So I took that cute little exercise and I made it right. And then,
Mhm.
but I brought that exercise to my people. And then I was like,
Yeah.
let's look at this for real, for real. And it was and in the room when we did that 10x activity, that
Yeah.
people know that came from Grant Cardone down to my coach, down to me. Then I put it on steroids, and then
Mm-hmm.
I served it to my people, and it was a complete mindset shift in that room. The thing is, people are not willing to make the investment to be in the room, but they want what's on the damn dinner table. It don't work
Yeah.
that way.
Don't work.
It don't work
No,
that way. You can't
no.
come to the door with your paper plate. You got to actually
Ah,
like what you
no,
doing.
you're right. But it's a part of the process to invest in where you're trying to go. You know what I mean? And
Right.
that's the thing nobody wants to do. They want the benefits, but they don't want the
Right.
investment.
Right. They want to come to the dinner. They don't even want to bring the drinks like
Yeah.
at paper plates. They don't, I'm like, that's not how that works. We know you
I want
can't
to
cook.
bring the napkins, you know what I mean? But they
Right.
but they the ones that take all the leftovers though. That's the thing that
Right.
makes me mad. That's a whole nother thing. But they bring the cheapest thing. And I'm like, I know you're not packing up all that food to take up out of here. You didn't even bring anything worth you didn't
Right.
even bring it.
Right.
But yeah.
Agreed. And
But no, that
I think
next exercise, like Chanel just said, is it is definitely it shifts your mindset. It shifts everything about how you see money, how you see your business. You know, it shifts everything.
right.
So
Right.
if you haven't gotten it, you need to get it. You need to be there.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I love is we have a diverse community, right? We have
Yeah.
Black women, white men, we have attorneys, we have people from Haiti, we got people from London, it doesn't matter. There are people who show up because so let's talk a little bit about what a mastermind is. I think that's so important because I've heard a few people come in and say, okay, I know you're doing a mastermind, but I've been to masterminds and let me tell you what they look like. And I don't want to do that. Right. So a lot of masterminds, I'm going to talk about the definition of what they are, and then I'm going to let you define what we do at ours.
Okay.
So a lot of people come to masterminds, and first of all, there is a multitude of speakers going across the stage all day, talking to you for about 45 minutes, sharing stuff, waterboarding you with entirely too much content, and or that's one, and then waterboarding you too much content that you can't do anything with, or you're in the room with people who are all on the exact same level, sharing ideas, but not really giving the ability for others to level up.
Oh, that's
right.
good.
Or you are in the room where the people are just standing at the person who's facilitating it is literally not leading a mastermind. They're leading, they're coaching basically and teaching and educating, but they're not really allowing the mastermind portion of a mastermind to take place, and I'm going to define it and then I'm going to let you tell them what we do. A mastermind is quite honestly where people at different levels, that's the first thing. They're supposed to be at different levels because a newbie that doesn't know anything about this business is going to ask questions that might seem stupid to the regular person. And they might go, I don't understand. Why can't you do that? And then the person on that higher level start going, okay, well, wait, why can't I do that? And that's where ideas start to form because money doesn't make money. The putting new ideas into action makes money.
Yeah.
And so a mastermind is supposed to be where you have different levels of people bringing different ideas and then putting a plan in place in regards to which one of those ideas you're going to take and put into action. And it's also giving them what they need to know enough about your business to actually have some input for your business. So with that said, why don't you tell them what happens at a FYRE Savvy Mastermind?
Well, the one thing I see that happens, you do have people at different levels, but when you present, you give us a strategy of how we think differently, but you allow us to ask questions. I think everyone in the room has an aha moment. You know what I mean? But you empower us to see things differently and not with the expectation of what we came in with.
Right. And not the expectation that you have to have all the answers.
No.
Whether you're the presenter or whether you're the person sitting down, listening to one of your colleagues share their business.
And I appreciate the fact that, honestly, the FYRE pitch for me, I can only speak for me. I didn't know we had to do that. I really thought we were coming like the mantra retreat. We sit around, everybody chit chat. Heck no. The FYRE pitch, oh my God, it took me out. I had to meet with my personal assistant. We sat down. I'm like, okay, this goes under here.
Not the therapy moment.
Oh, I had to. It was overwhelming. But you know what? And then y'all, they dogged me because I changed the whole format. Well,
you changed it all to purple.
I didn't change the format. I just changed it to purple, and I put my logo in the little corner. But I thought it was cute. I thought that's what we were supposed to do. But nevertheless, they called me out in the group about it. But you know what? As afraid as I was, because I never had to put my business on the screen or on paper. It was all in my head. And I promise you, since that moment for that masterclass from FYRE Savvy has helped me be able to speak better about my business. I'm proud of my business, but I know what I'm talking about now, and I don't feel like I'm all over the place. And so that's what that master class did for me. You didn't make me feel like I was, and yes, I was stretched, but I felt so much better when I walked away. I felt like I was definitely the coach that I was supposed to be for my clients. So that master class for me is you pulled the best out of everybody, and you didn't do everybody the same.
No.
But at least you gave them, and sometimes you might get emotional, you might cry. Don't be in your feelings, guys. It's not like that.
No,
But it's
no, no.
helping you be a better you for your business.
Well, and the thing about doing a fire, first of all, it's very rare that any of us, myself included, actually have an opportunity to take our
Yeah.
business,
Mm-hmm.
put it on 10 slides, stand in front of 20 something people who are at our level, higher or
Yeah.
lower, so a diverse group,
Mm-hmm.
in front of people, and then say, yeah, this is my business and this is what I'm planning to do. And for
Mm-hmm.
those people to not only lean in and listen and pay attention, because that first day is a long day. Like everybody's pitching their business and they got 7 minutes to do it. So
I did mine in
everybody
7.2 to be exact. And the
did
second
yours
time
in
I did
seven
it in
minutes.
5 minutes the second
Yeah.
time. But nevertheless,
Yes, you
I
did.
did it. So I'm going to take my trophy and I'm going to celebrate that. So yes,
Yes, you
continue.
did.
I'm sorry, I
Yes, you
apologize.
did. But when is there, so think about it, you've been in business for 30 years.
Never have I done anything like that.
Right. And the power of doing that, and most people going, okay, yeah, so you stood up and pitched your business. I'm gonna tell you right now, I send most people that power pitch, that fire pitch deck, and they're gonna be like, okay, this is gonna take me a little bit. Like, let me
Mm-hmm.
let
Yes.
me just give me a moment. Just give me
Mm-hmm.
a moment. Ali can say you need a parade. So say you need a whole parade, right? But literally, it was like, give me a moment, let me fill this out. And here's the thing. Now you're going to stand up in front of people and you're going to say, this is my business. This is what I did. This is what I plan to do. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
y'all. Hey. And then people go, well, wait a minute. Let me ask you some questions about what you did and what you're going to do and how that's going to work. I have questions. Not questions, gotcha questions, but genuinely, like, I need to understand because I might have an idea because I don't understand. But if you give me more information, I might have other ideas. Like
Yeah.
it really makes you see your business as you've never seen it before.
Yeah. It was an excellent it was just good. I was intimidated myself. Like, oh my God, what I called Chanel. I was at some other mastermind. Y'all was in the group chatting. I said, hey, then y'all called my name out. Nikki, where's yours? I'm like, hello. I'm like, leave me alone. But I was afraid. But man, once I pitched it, I felt like $1,000,000, I must say.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
the feedback that you gave, that everybody in the room gave, priceless. And once you have it done, you're gonna live by it. This is what
Right.
the tool you will use to make more money in your business. And if you
Right.
don't, then you didn't use it properly. But
Right.
my business increased for my level a lot for me. And
Yeah, I
I
think
am
we had like
grateful.
160% or 180,
Yeah,
something like that.
exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I speak with more confidence. I know who my ideal client is. I know what I offer them. I know my roadblocks. I know the things that I help them achieve and really help them overcome. So
Right.
it-
And you know what you have to do next. You know what's,
yeah.
right. It's such a difference. And it's funny because even sitting there looking at mine, I'm like, man, like you really don't think about it until you put it on paper. And it's almost like having this advisory group that gives a damn. And so that
Yeah.
first day, y'all hear from us for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It's
Mhm.
literally every person in the group like going and pitching and getting updates. And as they update their stuff and as they get coached, you start going, let me think about this. Hold on one second. Like
Mhm.
it's a full day of direct and coaching from the sidelines. Like it's really
Yeah.
kind of cool. And then the next day, we not
Yeah.
spending the whole time teaching y'all that day either.
No,
No, next day is all about 10x.
it is.
For this particular one, how do you actually 10x your business and take your business to the next level? And what's so funny is, let's say you have, a $500,000 business. We then challenge you to say, well, what does that business look like if it was $5 million? And I got to tell you, a lot of times people sit there and they're like, I'm sorry, excuse me, ma'am. In 3 to 5 business years, maybe, we're like, no, like tomorrow, and just having that mindset shift really hits you into what's possible in your business that you didn't even think was possible,
Yeah.
you know?
That's and you never know who's in the room. Opportunities opened up for people in that room.
Absolutely.
Patrice got a
Absolutely.
whole job. I mean, you know what I
She's got a
mean?
whole job,
Right. But just by being her authentic self, she showed up, she talked about what she could do and she did it well. But
right?
she's been doing like the follow through that she gives has been I really want my assistant to meet her because I'm like, girl, we got work to do. We need to level up. We need to start
Right.
calling people that come to our events, follow through, follow up.
And there's a
Patrice,
community. It's not like you
it's
show up at
great.
this thing and you go away and then there's no community. Like we stay connected as a
Yes.
community. We're coming back to the one at the end of this month. So is Cindy. So is Deanna.
Yeah.
And so the thing that's really interesting is this. While Patrice showed up, which I love, Patrice showed up and she said, and her pitch wasn't perfect. She literally showed
No.
up and said, right, she said, "Hey y'all, hey, so this all burnt down last year. Look at it. Lovely
Mhm.
fire, ain't it? Okay, but let me tell you what I can do." Which I
Yeah.
love that. She never walked in like, "My shit don't stink and everything is perfect." No, she's like, "Hey, let me show y'all what burnt down this last year. Let's take a look, shall we? This burnt down, this burnt down, this burnt down." Right? Like she was like so real, like all these things burnt down.
Mhm.
Right? And then she said, "Now let me tell you what I do and what I do extremely well." And she said, "These are the 4 things I do." And I was like, "You do
Yeah.
all 4?" Right? Like, you do all
Yeah.
4? Okay. Would you like a 6-figure contract? Is that what you want? But just her truth and authenticity, like
Yeah.
I don't, and I'm not saying show up and put in half-ass effort. She put in effort, but it
Mhm.
was authentic and real and true
Yes.
and vulnerable, and it was the truth. It wasn't made up. It was the truth of where she was. And because she did that, because she shared that truth,
Yeah.
like people might say, well, she burned down her business, so clearly she ain't gonna make no money. She walked out with a contract. Like she walked out like, hey girl,
Yeah.
hey, let me holler
Mhm.
at you real quick. Like, girl, come here. Let me talk to you. Right? Because she showed up and said, "This is what I could do. I can't find the opportunity. I'm really having a hard time identifying my ideal client, but I do this and I do it so damn well. I just don't know how to package it." And I'm like, "We got you." Walked out
Mhm.
with a contract. So I keep trying to tell people, I'm like, stop trying to make sure that everything is defined and you know everything that's going to happen so you can figure out the reason you won't want to be there. Just get your stuff together and show up.
Yep.
Like just show up. Take that chance.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop
That was
preaching
good.
today. Because if I pull out one more scripture,
Oh my God! Don't hurt them too
I
hard.
might shut down the whole
Then we're
internet.
gonna have to
So
have a Sunday service at the at the retreat,
at
and
the
then
retreat,
Donna read a few scriptures.
look, I say another scripture, I'm gonna shut down the whole internet. Y'all gonna be like, look at that Donna, she did it again. So I'm gonna just stick with the ones I got so far.
There you go. There you go.
All right. So first, I want to make sure that if people want, first of all, if y'all want to know how to be styled, let me go ahead and type this in. Where is Nikki at? Nikki need to be typing this for me.
Yes.
I'm gonna say go to
Yes,
Nikki
if you
V.
put in
Jewels.
Nikki's website under Nikki Styles, my admin, she's on, so she can
Wait,
put
wait, which
Lee
one?
Johnson.
I put Nikki B. Jewels. That's not it, baby.
Oh no, that's my store. Yes, if you want bling,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. No, you're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah. If y'all want, listen,
Yeah,
I will just admit this is not a Nikki styling today. She would be telling me things that need to be done with this, right? She'd be like, "We got nothing. We're not giving today. Is that what's happening?" And I would tell her, "It's cold in the house, and I'm in
yeah.
the
No,
house
they
cold."
didn't put in Nikki Styles if they want to be styled by my daughter.
And
But
then Nikki Styles, yes, if she does
yeah,
bring the fire. And so
yes.
there's Nikki B. Jules. There's Nikki
But can I say
Styles.
something real quick? I told Chanel,
Hmm.
I said, okay, I don't know what Donna had going on the last retreat, but you were fire every day. I said, red must be her branding colors, red and the black. I said, and I noticed you bought a whole different style this last one. Like I'm used to Chanel with the ear. I'm used to Chanel, but you came to attract the room and you did it very well. I was
Okay,
like,
can I?
Donna is not playing with y'all in this year. Like she's showing up. She cute. She always cute, but like she was like cute. You walked in the room like like that was that scroll stopping Chanel talks about. Like you stopped the room. Both of y'all were cute. Y'all both were on fire. But I see your game that you're doing, and you're doing it great. So I
Thank
see.
you.
I
Thank
noticed.
you. Thank
I said,
you.
"Oh, Chanel, she done showed off." I said,
Amen.
"Come
So
on with the red and the black," and I saw that. I said, "Okay, I see you."
can I?
It was
So I'm gonna share. I'm gonna share a lesson that I got. So I'm coachable. I'm real coachable, right? And yeah, I'm playing no games in 2023. So my coach, um, okay, so I'm gonna back way up. So when when I was growing up, you know, I grew up in a predominantly black neighborhood during a time where colorism was really strong. And so I was always told to sit down, I'm not cute, right? Not really allowed to be proud of myself in any way, shape, or form. And so I've never been one of those people who looked in the mirror and thought I was anything. In fact, I would think I was nothing. I could tell you all the things that's wrong with me. And so because of that, I would purposely put myself out of the way of opportunities. And I would never put myself in the spotlight because I didn't want people to think that I thought anything about myself. Right. And it really comes down to you're not allowed to love yourself.
Mhm.
And so that for me, you know, what you deal with in childhood, sometimes that follows with
Yeah.
you, and you have to learn to reparent that. So anyway, so that showing up and being whatever. Well, my coach kind of had a come to Jesus moment with me and was like, listen, I'm gonna need all of you to show up. And he
Mhm.
goes, you keep downplaying and not showing all the way up. He goes, and what happened was he saw how I go on stage. He goes, when you go on stage, like you bring the whole thing. He goes, but you're not doing that online. You're not doing that in all these other areas I need you to do them at. You're showing up as an attendee and not as the speaker.
Wow.
And I was like, I hear you. And he goes, so I need you to get over whatever shit you got going on up here, right? And I need you to show up. And so I was like, whew, I'm gonna try. It's gonna be real hard. Like I've been a lot of meetings with my therapist, like a lot, right? And so it was so funny because I told Patrice like the level of anxiety I had putting on an outfit that you hadn't seen before, for example. And she was
Mhm.
like, really? Because I would think you wear this all the time. And I'm like, no. I said, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I said, but I would never dare. And she goes, well, I guess we daring today. And so that
Yeah.
was really my coach had made it clear like, you need to pick your styles, you need to pick your colors, and you need to show up
Mhm.
all the time. And I'm like, I'm
Well,
going to
you
try.
did it. You
Thank
showed
you.
you did it. You really
Thank
did.
you.
And
I
honestly,
appreciate
I was like, okay, Chanel, I see where she going. She cute. But that's the part too, though, that business people like we have to show up and
it.
be,
Right.
you know what I mean? But you really, and
We
you're
we have
beautiful
to be
anyway.
aspirational and
But
approachable.
but you that you for me, and maybe because I'm attracted to people who are confident anyway and who do
Right.
bold, crazy stuff.
Hmm.
So it's that's what you showed all those days. And like you commanded the room when you spoke, but you walked in with confidence and you let us know if y'all don't get it, don't hate me because I'm getting mine. So it is what it
Right.
is.
Well,
But it was good.
I appreciate that, and I really do, and I like even have butterflies right here. And the funny thing is, I know people, or I might project on people that they think that I think a certain way about myself from like this elevated point, and what they really don't know is like I'll go play with some dirt in the swamp with an alligator in a heartbeat. Like, right? Like, really, like, right? Like, I have to play dress up, right?
Mhm.
And I'm really more that girl who want to go out there and play in the dirt. And so even threatening them, I'm like, we gonna go gator fishing. They're like, we are not going gator fishing. What we
Well,
not gonna do is that, you know.
you and Chanel both commanded the room. So,
Well, thank you.
and I
I
hope
appreciate that.
everybody that comes take that tip. And when you speak in front of people at your own events, that you command the room by what they see too.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
and the other thing is, as a coach, you have to get past your stuff
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you have to be an example. And so while I did that because my coach told me to do it, when he told me, he goes, you are passing a lesson down to your
Yeah.
people that's going
Mhm.
to impact their business. And I was like that hurt me to my soul when he said that. So I'm
Mhm.
like, well, that can't happen. He goes, so you need to get over whatever you need to get over so that you're not passing that lesson to your people not
Yeah.
to show up in a big way. And so it didn't matter anymore how I felt. Quite
Mhm.
honestly, I was like, I have to do this. This is now part of my job, right? And so that's the thing about being an entrepreneur and being a coach, that there are things that you might be baggage that you might be bringing with you that you got to dump
Mhm.
because you have a whole job to do,
Yeah.
right? And so yeah, and so yes, thank you so much. That was a great note to end up on. See, you
Yeah.
trying to make me cry. She done trying to make me cry 2 times. Y'all see this?
But I had to, but it's like, we say so many things to somebody else, but we never say it to the person, to
Right,
them, and how impactful they are. So that
right.
was, you guys were both great. I was just proud. Like, I'm like, those are my friends. Oh my God, they look so cute. But
I
yes, but
know. I made sure you went to Bible study so you could come play with us in January.
yes,
All
I
right.
did. I did. Donna made me tell my husband I was late for Bible study. She said, tell him I said for you to go.
For
So
real.
he's
Like,
like,
you need to go.
oh, she's so sweet. She really cares that you have Bible study and all that you do. I'm like, oh my God. But
I was
he really
working
did.
it. I was working it. I told
You
you when I
were,
meet him for the first time, I'm gonna wear that white dress with that high ruffle collar and a
no,
high
he's
ruffle
not
and
gonna believe
ruffles right here, and I'm gonna
you. No.
walk around like this. I ain't gonna have on a stitch of makeup, and I'm gonna have
Mm,
like a Bible or some book
no,
that look like it right there in my arm, and I'm gonna find
no,
like
because he
at
already
least
knows, Nicole, you would not choose that kind of coach. So he's like, she's lying. So he would
Nikki's
already
like
know that wouldn't
Nikki.
work.
Look, Nikki on there talking about she absolutely
Right.
not. Immediately no. Nikki's like, that is not how we style her. I don't know what she's
No,
doing.
exactly. Exactly. My husband would be like, baby, I think your coach need to go see Nikki so she can do something
So she
to
can straighten that
change that
out. I
look.
don't know what's happening.
I don't know what that was.
I don't know why she showing up like that. Why she got the
Oh
little
my
Mormon
God.
hairstyle. I don't know what's happening.
But no.
All
Well, this
right.
was
Yes.
good.
Yes,
Thank you so
Fatima.
much for
The
having me.
white
It was
dress.
great.
Thank
It's
you.
been a
And if
great time.
anybody wants to learn more about Nikki B. Jules, her shop, you need to
Mm.
go there. That's very important. But now I got to go find your other one. If you want to learn more about working with Nikki, especially if you're like, okay, I'm a first level entrepreneur, I'm going to be the first entrepreneur in my family, right? You want to go to, and I'm just going to, I don't wrote it like 3 times.
It's okay.
Nicole.
NicoleFBrown.com.
L Brown. I know about heart by now. NicoleLBrown.com. You want to go to NicoleLBrown.com. Wait, did I click it? I didn't click it. There it is. You want to go to NicoleLBrown.com, especially if you're like, okay, Donna, I'm not ready for the craziness you bring in. You bring in for established entrepreneurs. If you're not an established entrepreneur yet, but you want to get to that level, definitely go and talk to Nicole. She can help you become an established entrepreneur. And then if you like, okay, I'm an established entrepreneur. Yes, I think your room might be too big for me, but I'm going to step into it anyway. Then go to
Mhm.
firesavvy.net. We have
Yeah.
our masterminds are, they come up at the end of the month, and we change subjects all the time. So we're going to have, we have sales, we have messaging, client attraction, and market domination. We have 10x. So we have several different types of topics that we cover. as well as not just teaching you these topics, but actually immersing you in them. So that way they really make an impact for your business.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much, Nikki. I love you.
Thank
I
you.
can't
Love
wait.
you.
Can't wait till I see you at the end of
Yes, I see you at the end of the month. I get to come out and play.
the month. You
Look,
get to go out and play.
come out and
All right,
play.
man. Thank you so much.